President Trump by NBC News just posted. The president talking about how his administration could change its approach to the immigration crackdown.
Mr. President, speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals. But look, I've called the people. I've called the governor. I've called the mayor, spoke to them, had great conversations with them. And then I see them ranting and raving out there, literally as though a call wasn't made.
CNN Washington bureau chief and political director David Chalian is with us now. A change of tone for the president, softer touch, but he's also saying everyone's criminals when we know they're not.
Yeah, he's clearly not looking to change the overall approach and strategy of what he ran on and what he was elected to do in mass deportation. But it is interesting to hear him take the rhetoric and try to place it back on the worst of the worst, criminals. That he understands that what occurred in Minneapolis got far afield from what he had actually sort of talked about and promised, and saw the backlash from the country on this. And so normally you would hear somebody ask President Trump, say, what have you learned? You would think you'd get bluster of like, I've learned what I always knew or something. No, he acknowledged learning something, that this requires a softer touch. Now, again, I don't want to say we're going to see a 180-degree turn here, but he's clearly responding to the fact that the country was really displeased with what they were seeing.
And to that point, we want to share with the viewers a Fox News poll that was taken from January 23rd through the 26th. The gathering of this data began before the killing of Alex Preddy, and notably, it shows that generally people asked feel that ICE is too aggressive right now, nearly 60%. You have to imagine that those numbers likely went up after what happened to Alex Preddy. How much of this has to do with the political calculus of President Trump in a midterm election year?
Well, there's no doubt it has to do with politics. There's little doubt about that. Also, because I don't think it's just coming from his usual critics, right? I mean, when you get 6 and 10, you're getting some Republicans in there. You're getting some people who are on the president's team, if you will, who are not pleased or think his policies have gone too far. Only a quarter of Americans thinks it's about right. So the president's language of, I've learned we can do this with a softer touch and keep the focus on the hardened criminals that are the worst of the worst, is a way for him to steer back to a place where he hopes he's going to have broader appeal with this immigration strategy.
Really interesting. David, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Happening now, lawyers for President Trump are back in a New York courtroom. They're trying to get an appeal of his criminal conviction in a hush money scheme moved to federal court. Trump appealed his 2024 conviction on 34 state counts of falsifying